Hey everyone, welcome to BIO2104 Microbiology with Lab. I'm your instructor, Jenny Kettler. I'm making this video to kind of give you an overview of the course as well as how to access your e-text and questions about lab kits, because those are typically what everybody is most concerned about when they start this course. So we are on the home page of this course, and some things to kind of be mindful of is the class announcements. I give you really important information in here. So you can kind of see we've already got some announcements posted. If you ever need to see past announcements, you can always click on this announcements button and it will take you back. Or if you need to see like a full version of it, you can click on that button. It's really important that you check these every 2 to 3 days because I put important information, updates, resources for assignments, things like that. The other thing to be mindful of is that this course requires a lab kit. And so what will happen is that when you first log into the course, you won't see any pop-ups or anything like that. But once the census date passes, you should get a pop-up like this. So you want to make sure that you don't have a pop-up blocker enabled. And this will open so that you can place your order for your lab kit. So it's not going to work for me because I'm not considered a student. But what should happen is you should get an order form to put in your address so that way you can get your lab kit. Now, any questions that you have about your lab kit can be answered in the lab kit FAQ section. It will prompt you if you still need to order it, so you can use this lab kit order form as well. Again, not going to work for me because I'm not considered a student, so I'm going to go ahead and go to my instructor view. So if we go to right here, this can answer any questions you have about your lab kit. What I will say is that you do not need a lab kit for lab 1, so you don't have to panic if you don't have that kit by lab 1. You do not need a kit until lab 2. But this will walk you through about how you're going to get your lab kit, how to access the order form if you don't see it, when you're going to get it. The kits aren't ordered until after the census date, and then it takes about 7 to 10 days for it to get to you. There's going to be some dates here, what happens if you don't submit the correct address. But the other thing that's super important is that when your lab kit gets to you, you have to make sure that you go through it really well with like a fine-tooth comb and make sure that everything's there, that nothing's broken, because you only have 3 business days to report to Science Interactive if there's an issue with the kit. So that link is right here. Any other questions that you have about you didn't get your kit, you're worried that you're paying for something that you're not supposed to, a paywall comes up, anything like that, you need to contact the bookstore. And that is going to be dependent upon your home college, like whichever college is your home college, that it will tell you who you need to contact. Unfortunately, I can't fix anything with Science Interactive if it locks you out or, something pops up that's not supposed to be there. Same thing with McGraw-Hill Connect. I wish I could access that stuff, but I can't. So again, if you have trouble with your e-text, same deal. These are the same people that you contact. So make sure that you read through this really, really well so that you fully understand the lab kit process. If you have any kind of technical issues or things going wrong with your email or with D2L or anything like that, you can always call this number or the IT help desk for your school. They're there 24/7. So that's the lab kit information. If you go to content, you should land on the syllabus page in the schedule. Depending on which course you have, you might have a 10-week or a 15-week schedule. But this is really important to make sure that you have access to, print a copy of it, whatever it is you need to do, put it in a digital calendar. But this lists your due dates and the assignments. This is really important because the due dates are hard deadlines. Late work is not typically accepted. And this course has a rule that if you miss any 3 labs, whether they are virtual or lab kit labs from Science Interactive, you will automatically fail the course. So virtual labs are typically listed under Virtual Labs in Connect. Lab kit labs, I tried to list them as this. I also put in how long it can take to complete them. So you can see some of these are quite long and involved. And there are times where you will be doing, 2 labs at once. So that's just something to keep in mind. You'll also see that the discussion date has 2 different due dates. You have your initial post due by a certain date, and then you've got 2 peer replies. Now, in the rubric for the discussions, it talks about the peer replies, and you need to reply to at least 2 people. You want to reply to them on separate dates. So you don't want to wait until Sunday to do all your peer replies, because you get points taken off for that. So you want to do, like Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, Saturday, whatever works best for you. The other thing about the discussions is that they have what's known as global health relevancy modules. So you have to actually read something in Connect before you do your discussion posts, which I'm going to show you how to access that in this video right here. So we're not going to go into that right now. If we go back to the content and we go to week 1, every module has readings and chapter quizzes, and then the virtual labs. Those are done through McGraw-Hill Connect. So when you click on the link, it will most likely prompt you to create an account, to enter an access code, something along those lines. The access code was sent to your student email. If you don't have it, contact the bookstore in that list that I showed you here in the lab kit thing. If you hit a paywall where it's like, hey, you need to pay for this, don't pay for it until you contact the bookstore, because you might have already paid for it in your course fees. So do all those things first. But yeah, it should take you directly to, where it says launch assignment. It's just being weird for me because it's taking me to my instructor account. But it should take you directly to that assignment. What it will kind of look like for you on the home page is this. So it'll have things in units. When you click on that, you can see when, the quizzes start or the assignment starts, when they're due by. You can click on it and it'll take you directly to it. This is your e-text. Here's that microbiology relevancy module that I mentioned earlier for your discussions. So we're going to go ahead and quickly look at your Science Interactive Lab Kit labs. So again, like I mentioned before, Lab 1 does not require a lab kit. What you should be able to do is go directly to these links, and it will take you to what you need to complete. So if we click on that, it probably will ask you to register, to log in and things like that. If it asks you for that voucher, again, check your student email, see if you have it there. If not, contact the bookstore. But it should take you directly here. Each lesson has these links to go through. Make sure you go through each one, because it does ask you questions, and that's how it records your grade. Once you complete all these, you'll go to experimentation. Again, do all 3, and then you go to evaluation. You will eventually get to the final report, and what you will do is you will hit Control P, And when I do that, it should ask you to save it as a PDF, and you hit save. It'll save it to your device, and then you should go to the assignments tab, and let me just view as a student. No, sorry about that. Click on the assignments, and you can go to where you need to submit. You tell it to add a file, you upload the file, hit submit, and you've got everything. But the important thing to remember is that when you click on these links, whenever you finish that particular link, you actually have to come back into D2L and then click on this link. Trying to go to it from here is not recommended because sometimes it doesn't record it whenever you go in through this way. So always come back and click on the link, complete what you need to complete, come back out here, click on the link, complete what you need to complete, come back out here, right? Repeat. Rinse and repeat. There aren't any quizzes in the quizzes tab because all the quizzes are through McGraw-Hill Connect, so you don't need to worry about that. If you click on grades, you should be able to see how many points you've earned for each assignment. If I left you any comments, it'll be on this right-hand side. If you need to contact me, you can click on class list, you can scroll to my name, you can hit send internal message, and it will allow you to email me. The other important tabs are in the resources, so you can get to your help desk, the online library, and then any kind of online tutoring. So that is pretty much it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help. Again, make sure that you really review those lab kit FAQs. And I look forward to working with all of you.